For years, Berkeley County tax dollars were padding the pockets of a corrupt educrat. But it didn't stop at embezzlement. Brantley Thomas misspent $46 million of the school district's fund balance, putting it on the verge of losing its bond rating. This level of mismanagement created a situation that prevented the district from doing the one job it was entrusted to do: educating the students of Berkeley County. Berkeley County School District Attorney, who is also County Councilman Josh Whitley, positioned himself at the forefront of an effort to recover the money that Brantley Thomas misspent and fix the school district's deficit.
I've been authorized by the board to recover as much of the resources as possible for two reasons. Number one, we need the resources. And number two, we want to send a message to anyone who does us wrong. We will not just take it on the cheek and not come after you when you do the children of Berkeley County wrong. We're going to hold you responsible, because I think that prevents further future misconduct. And so that lawsuit's pending. There are several others, and we're going to be bulldogs in our fight for the district to recover those monies.
The former chairman of the Berkeley County Republican Party, Josh Whitley, ran for county council in 2015. He was unopposed. Like a lot of Republicans in South Carolina, he campaigned on a platform of eliminating corruption and of charting a more fiscally conservative path for the district. Specifically, he vowed to use his experience as an attorney to rectify the problems of the previous administration. He was going to be Berkeley County's knight in shining armor.
Well, I didn't know Josh Whitley back in 2015, but when you look at Josh Whitley's history, when he first came on the scene, he actually was fighting corruption. At one time, he probably was very well-intentioned, very much like myself. He was a hawk for transparency. And when he found corruption on the school district level, he went after it with ferocity.
A man of many roles, it didn't take long for Whitley's role to expand beyond just his seat on the county school board. In fact, within hours after he took office, his law firm was conveniently hired by the Berkeley County School District.
With the work that he performed to try to rid the school district of corruption, a part of that was assisting new school board members to get into office, assisting them politically, assisting their campaigns monetarily, donating money himself to those campaigns, and ensuring that that school board flipped, not necessarily to Democrat or to Republican, but flipped to board members loyal to him.
That's probably not coincidental that in the run-up to the 2016 elections, Josh Whitley endorsed and financially supported many of the candidates who were running for Berkeley County School Board, including his friend and former law partner, Mac McQuillan, who, incidentally, shortly thereafter became the county attorney for Berkeley County. Mac McQuillan was elected to the Berkeley County School District back in 2014. Like Whitley, he vowed to chart a fiscally conservative course, including slashing legal fees for school district taxpayers. Now, unfortunately, that campaign promise remained just that. In fact, not only was it unfulfilled, school district legal fees actually soared by 108%. And not surprisingly, a lot of that money went into the law firm that employed Mac McQuillan. So let's recap how this works. Josh Whitley, the county council member, does the legal work for the school district. Meanwhile, Mac McQuillan, who's on the school board, does the legal work for the county. It's quite a convenient symbiosis, isn't it? Was Berkeley County on the brink of another scandal?
I mean, you have Josh Whitley become the in-house counsel for the school district, and his law firm immediately benefits over several years to the tune of several $100,000 annually. That type of money is influential. It's influential where Josh Whitley is no longer the in-house counsel for the school district. He is the steering authority. And if any board member wants to retain their position on the board, they will kiss Josh Whitley's ring. He helped them get their seats. He helped them retain them. And if they want to keep their seats, they'll do his bidding. My concern was how Josh Whitley became the in-house counsel for the school district. So I submitted a FOIA. I wanted to see what the conversations were about and how those decisions were made to suddenly dismiss their in-house counsel and hire Josh Whitley the minute after his hand-picked politicians were sworn into office. The response from the school district was a $47,000 request for publicly available information. They wanted publicly available information at the price of a new car. And they were willing to litigate over it. They were willing to go after my law license over it. They lost, but they still fought tooth and nail to protect that information. And that publicly held information is still unknown. You don't cross Josh Whitley. If you cross Josh Whitley, he will embarrass you. He will attack you. He'll call you names. He will go after your job. Or he will make sure other people do so it doesn't look like he's doing it. He'll ruin you. At one point when the citizens of Berkeley County were questioning the behavior of Josh Whitley, Josh was so easily offended that he called them all the pigs. Josh was so easily offended that he called them all pigs. He specifically said, if you don't want to get dirty, don't get in the mud with the pigs.
It is my honor to speak on behalf of hundreds of constituents in Berkeley County who have called attention to the corruption that exists within this body. Now Mr. Whitley has called your constituents, quote, pigs. I cannot wait to push this out on social media so that others know the only course for this council is to demand his resignation.
That's what the citizens of Berkeley County are to him if they question any decision he makes. You are a pig. And the people of Berkeley County will not have it. You know, I think the greatest example of Josh Whitley's influence, his corruption, is cutting the terms of politicians short who have been elected by the people. You don't go to another senator, Larry Grooms, to trample all over the Constitution and kick people out of office.
Indeed, just this May, South Carolina Senate Bill 910 was introduced by Senator Larry Grooms at the request of Josh Whitley and fast-tracked to the desk of the governor. Some school board members in Whitley's crosshairs raised the alarm.
One of them, Kirsten Tanner.
Tanner was extremely direct in an interview with Channel 2. She said, and I quote, "I'm very concerned that there's a political agenda behind this. That is my personal feeling as an individual board member. I believe they are trying to get us out." What it all boils down to is an endless cycle of corruption in Berkeley County, with taxpayers now wondering if they traded one fleecing for another. With Brantley Thomas, you had obvious embezzlement, criminal activity, which was clearly illegal and robbing taxpayers of millions of dollars. But now you've got Josh Whitley with this cunning, back-scratching relationship. It's every bit as bad, isn't it? Except it has the appearance of legitimacy.
Yeah, there has been, in recent years, significant changes in Berkeley County. The people of Berkeley County have woken up. The people of Berkeley County have become aware of the corruption, and they're fighting back. They are questioning their politicians. They are questioning people like Josh Whitley. And they're standing up to the good old boy tactics of intimidation and threats. And there is great change and great optimism in Berkeley County. The power of Josh Whitley has shrunk. And he feels it, and he's doing everything he can to hang on to it. My hope for Berkeley County is that the people become so aware of local politics that they take over to be the true decision makers of the local government. They hold their politicians accountable, and those politicians actually work for the people, not for their own best interests. I believe that is the future for Berkeley County, and I believe we're getting closer to it every day.
Public corruption is obviously bigger than Berkeley County. It's all across South Carolina. In fact, if you're a regular member of our audience, you know that scams like this are going on all over the Palmetto State. Embezzlement, backdoor deals, favor trading, nepotism. The politicians like Josh Whitley that pull these scams off do it because they think they can get away with it. And in far too many cases, they do. But in Berkeley County, a committed group of taxpayers is standing up and saying enough. They're standing up and insisting on accountability from their local government. Here at FITSNews, we're going to continue to support those taxpayers and hold those local governments accountable, because no South Carolina taxpayer should be forced to trade one fleecing for another.